What's good, crypto? I'm your host, Marvin, here to bring you the daily scoop on everything going on in crypto. I'm sorry that I've been away for about 2 episodes now. I'm 2 episodes behind. I was out on Friday. I was out filming a commercial, so I was nowhere to be found near my computer. And then yesterday, I was just so exhausted. I had to film on Sunday. Again, I did shoot a wedding, so I was just so tired, and then I needed a day to just kind of like relax. So I'm back. Sorry, guys. I missed you guys. Happy to be back. And we're going to talk about what's going on with Bitcoin and the crypto market. Over the last couple of days, Bitcoin has dropped down to a low of about 55.5K. Is this the bottom or can we go lower? Let's talk about, let's discuss, see some on-chain metrics, but also discuss, what could happen in an event that if it does go down a little bit, what are we looking for? All right. Monday through Friday, we come here to educate ourselves when it comes to investing in crypto to make life-changing wealth. None of this is financial advice, just my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. This is all entertainment and speculation. Make sure to do your own due diligence and research. Sign up for Celsius to earn $50 in Bitcoin with a deposit of $400 and more of USDC. Use the link in the description below. Make sure to follow me on TikTok. I post almost every single day. I take Sundays off sometimes. And then follow me on TikTok and Twitter at Crypto by Marvin, Instagram at Media by Marvin for my photography. Let's jump in to the crypto fear and greed index. Man, we are now in fear. Let me just refresh this. I'm pretty sure yesterday we were neutral at 50. Today we are back in fear. I believe 2 days ago we were in fear again, whereas last week we were at 71 and 73. It's very interesting because, typically when we see extreme fear, like we did here in September, is typically right before we see a blast off back into, new numbers. Right before in September, like September 30th, we were at about $40,000, and then what do you know? We had a blast off into 50,000, leading into about our all-time high into 60,000. So Rec Capital actually mentioned this, saying like right now we're in fear. Do we have to step into extreme fear before blast off? Which is a very interesting thought, like just the mentality, considering that we are just hovering around this area, just hanging out in the fear. People are fearful. Typically you want to buy in fear, you want to buy into fear, because that's when people are panicking. That's when things are at a discount. Extreme fear is like, oh, this is a really good discount. Do we need to see extreme fear, and what would it take? Well, let's talk about it. Right now, Bitcoin is hanging out. Let me just refresh. Overall, the market cap is at 2.57 trillion. We're down about 15-20% from our all-time high of about 3 trillion. So about 15% down. Bitcoin is hanging out at $56,781. Late last night, earlier this morning, we were actually at 55,000.8. And then we kind of bounced back up to 56.7. For us to get into extreme fear, I think that's where the conversation of heading into $53,000 really comes into play. If we take a look at the daily, we have yet to test this $53,000 region back in October. 53,000 was where we got our first pullback on September 7th. We went to 53,000, pulled back all the way down to about 40,000, then blasted off into new all-time highs. So, should we test the $53,000 region? It makes sense to me. Personally, I think that we could see, a good buying opportunity here at 53,000, because we have yet to really see this area kind of play out and just get it tested. We bounced off of it, we got rejected, and then we continue to push forward. So a lot of people are saying 53,000 as an area of resistance, but you can also see here on the daily, we have been bouncing off of this $55.5 region. So could this be our new local bottom? Like, do we not have to test 53,000? Well, that remains to be seen. But, we are struggling to get back over $60,000. And I think that's what everybody wants to see. If we are to develop this, W-like formation, where we bounce up, bounce down, bounce up, and then continue to move forward, we really need to get over the $60,000 region. If we look on the hourly, you can see that we have a double bottom. We have a bottom down here, and we have another bottom down here. So if we really want to bounce off, we really need to make some movement and get out of here and start closing over $60,000 region. Technically, it's about it's 59.9, but 60,000 for safe measure if we really want to see this as a double bottom. And it looks like it. It really does look a double bottom to me. But you have to keep in mind that there is room for us to move down to the downside. And if we do, see that as a buying opportunity. Keep in mind, we all know where Bitcoin is going. It's just a matter of when. And don't get sidetracked by all the noise, everything that's just going on, the boring price action. Don't get bored by that. Don't get threatened by that. This is actually healthy, and I think most of us in the market would prefer a boring market than it just continuing to get pummeled down. We're not in 40,000s. We're not in the 30,000. We are holding 56,000 very, very well, 55 to be exact. And if we do go to 53, buy the dip. Buy the freaking dip. You can't go wrong with buying the dip. Cheaper Bitcoin is better. But you know what? I think Bitcoin will hopefully hold this and will continue to move forward. But we will have a good idea of where we are in the market and what the cycle is going to look like over the next week or so. So hopefully by the end of the week, we'll see some positive price action. But you know what? Just keep your eyes open and peeled and maybe have some buy orders down the $53,000, $54,000 region in case we do get a retest of that area. But 55 is holding very well. Everyone's expecting or calling for 53. And that's kind of my mentality of like why we won't hit 53. When too many people expect it and ask for it, Bitcoin does what it wants, and sometimes it doesn't give you what you want. So we'll see if we retest the $53,000 region, but it seems like $55,000 seems to be an area where buyers are stepping in and pushing up the price. That is just my opinion. But overall, you know, there are some really good movers in the market right now. Everything is basically down. You know, we have Polkadot at $40. Avalanche had an amazing run of about $140. It had a pullback. Crypto.com literally just can't be stopped at this point. I think I have a little bit of Crypto.com, but it's like locked up. You have to buy Crypto.com to unlock it. And to me, it's not worth it. Terra Luna at $42. Chainlink is at $26. That one got pretty racked over the last month. VeChain down a bit, just a little under 13 cents. But I do think once Bitcoin gathers its strength and is ready to run, we're going to see some positive price moving. Cadena down to $17. Not too bad, honestly. Good buying opportunity. But we do have some really good movers today. Taking a look on 24 hours, we have AMP up a significant amount, about 33% because it got listed on Binance. Sandbox at 543. Holy smokes, up almost 600% in the last 30 days. Did not see that one coming. Oasis, I don't know anything about that. Loopring up about 20%, about 645% on the month. Engine Coin up 17%, up 116% on the month, almost at $4. So crazy to see that. Amazing to see that. Audius is up, Quant is up. We do have some good runners. Decentraland at $4.11. Immutable X up about 4%. Dogecoin randomly up almost 4%. So we do have some good movers, and a lot of these are metaverse plays. Again, I talked about this on my TikTok. I do think that the bear market, the things that I'm going to keep my eyes open to accumulate are layer ones. Like I'm going to be buying more Solana. I'll be packing up more of, you know, Avalanche. I'll probably get some like Terra Luna, but I'm going to be, you know, I'm going to get my hands dirty and like Sandbox, Decentraland, and Engine Coin. Those are ones that I'm definitely keeping my eyes on, and probably Phantom as well. Just because I think they're going to do so well in this run, and then when they're back on discount, you know, why not get more of a good project? You know, we're only continuing to explore layer ones. We're only starting the conversation of the metaverse, and I think it's going to continue to be a very important play, in my opinion. Things that are down today, we have Stacks down about 10%, Cello 8%, Fountain, I don't know what Fountain is. It's down 23%. Cadena down about 7%. Harmony down about 6%. Harmony, I love Harmony. That's probably going to be another one that I stack up more of in the bear market. But again, in the last, Fountain got a major run up. I have no idea what happened with Fountain, but in the last 30 days, it's up about 443,400%. What in the world is this? Trading View. I don't think many people, I have no idea what it is, honestly. It's an Ethereum platform. I have no idea what this is, but that's freaking wild. I have no idea where that came from. But overall, I think keep your eyes on the price. Remember, we all know where Bitcoin is going. And I do have some news and I have some charts that I want to talk about too. I love Tech Dev. He provides some great things, but he shared this, I believe it was this morning. Yeah. Liking the Bitcoin 8-hour bull. Wow. Div. What is div? I'm blanking out. Deviation. Wow. Liking the 8-hour bull deviation with a price bottom of the tightening Bollinger Bands. Bottom is very close, if not in. We can see here that when the RSI is below about 30, or 40 really, it tells us that things are oversold. On the 8-hour, it is oversold, and it has bounced up. The last time we saw it bounce up like this, and the way that the RSI is playing is very similar, is back at the end of September when we started our rally from September to October, where we went from 40,000 up to about 66,000 dollars. And that's what it's looking like right now. The 8-hour RSI is a great indicator of telling us whether things are overbought or oversold. And right now, on the 8 hours, on a higher time frame, it is looking like it's oversold, and it's bounced up from there. And the Bollinger Bands kind of gives us an idea of how high and how low price can go. And of course, you know, price can go above the Bollinger Bands. It can deviate underneath the Bollinger Bands. And we've seen it hit the top of the Bollinger Bands, and it's like hitting your head off the ceiling. If you're a kid jumping on a bed, you jump, you hit the ceiling, you're going to crash down. But if you crash really hard on the bottom, what happens when you're on a bed? You kind of bounce off the bed, and hopefully you land on your feet. It looks like we did hit our head when we hit 69,000, and then we kind of went down. We went beneath the Bollinger Bands, and the Bollinger Bands take time to expand and contract, and did expand, and it looks like we hit the bottom of the Bollinger Bands here at about $55,500, and hopefully we'll have room to run. And it looks like the top of the Bollinger Band on the 8-hour chart is about 60,000, where is actually it's above about closer to 63,000. And as we continue to move forward, the expanding of the Bollinger Bands will expand as well, which is exactly what we want to see, honestly. So that's pretty good. It's good to see that we're bottoming out. Again, we could hit 53,000. It doesn't mean we will. And my contrarian thought process is that since everybody is asking and looking for 53, we probably won't get it. And people will get too greedy and not buy a 55 thing that they'll get 53. And they don't. But I think even if you bought at 56, 55, you know, the difference between buying at 55 and 53 is less than 3%. It's about what? 5%? It's maybe 5%. And taking a look at this too, the Rodel ratio by the Brilliant Positive Crypto, this is actually reposted by Tech Dev, is an on keychain metric. I'm watching for the Bitcoin top call. Again, nobody knows when the top will come in exactly, like a date. I think if you're going to put a date and time of when the top is, when to exit out of your positions or sell or start selling, nobody really knows. But we do have indicators that gives us an idea of when to sell, when to start selling. You know, we can see when, you know, the whales are starting to sell and starting to sell into strength. That gives us a good indication that, hey, people are starting to take profits, especially the larger accounts. But here, this gives us an idea of when the peak will be. And right now, we are in the middle of developing our second peak. We are nowhere near the top. You know, typically, if you're listening, there's like this mountain, and basically at the top of the mountain there's these couple of red bars, and that tells us that's the top. We haven't hit the top. We hit the top back in 2011, back in 2014. We hit it back in 2018, where we hit the top when we entered the red sell area, and we are not even close to that. So that tells us that Bitcoin has room to run. And there's so many good reasons to be bullish. Like, the day-to-day price action is just noise. It'll just distract you. But if we take a look at just what's going on in the world, you know, El Salvador president announced Bitcoin City. You know, there's going to be 0% income tax, capital gains tax 0%, zero property tax, payroll tax 0, municipal tax 0, carbon emissions 0%. And there's just so much going on in the world, with Citigroup even going all in on crypto as well. We just see the adoption continuing to go more and more. NFL players are starting to take 100% of their salary in Bitcoin. We're starting to see that. So keep your eyes on the price, look at what's going on in the world, and just things are starting to move in the right direction. Just be patient. Don't lose sight of what's really going on. And ever since I started streaming, Bitcoin's over $57,000. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? I pumped the price up. I do that sometimes. So, oh, and it's continuing to pump right now, even as we speak. It's at $57,600. You're welcome, guys. You're welcome. But in all seriousness, guys, continue to stay strong. Continue to focus on what's really going on, because only goodness is happening. Only the good stuff is happening for Bitcoin and crypto. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm excited to be back. I missed you guys. Have a great day, everyone.